Welcome to Geni's Way. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting a visionary entrepreneur and AI explorer, a good friend of mine, Declan O'Reilly, owner of Matrimont digital agency in Virginia. Declan brings a wealth of experience, not just as a successful business owner, but as a trailblazer in the ever-evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. His journey is marked by ingenuity and the pushing of boundaries in the digital realm. Join us as we explore the fascinating intersection of entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and the cutting-edge world of AI with Declan. Get ready for a conversation that delves into the future of technology, business strategies, and the transformative impact of artificial intelligence. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a tech enthusiast, or someone curious about the future, this episode promises to ignite your curiosity and spark new ideas. Welcome, Declan. How's it going?
Good, Geni. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Tell us about your story to our listeners. Anything that has to do with how your bringing brought you to where you're at, or who was the biggest influence in what's going on in your life right now?
So right now, did you say how did my life get started with this journey? Or
yes, how's your journey started as an entrepreneur? Does that have something to do with your upbringing?
My dad was a entrepreneur. He had like an e-commerce company and whatnot. So I guess that put the idea in my head. But really, from a young age, I wanted to have freedom. I didn't want to listen to a boss. I've always been an out of the box thinker. You know what I mean? Never really liked to follow rules, and I've always wanted just to have unlimited freedom, unlimited money. All the things we want out of life. And one of the things that brought me down this path was the online world. And I remember working, regular 9-to-5 job many years ago, and just thinking, there's got to be something better. And, what would be better? And it has to be something online. And that's really, I looked into this, and it sounds stupid, but when I got started, it was literally me Googling how to get rich online fast. That was my segue into this. And as dumb as it sounds, I just wanted a better life. And I think a lot of people that pursue this, that's what they want. They want a better life. And that's really how I got started. Now there's so many little details in between, that and there, but that's really the beginning. Was I just need to live a better life. And the online way right now is going to give me all the freedoms I need.
And did you get rich fast?
Not at all. But I did learn a lot of valuable lessons, and it did slowly make me rich. And what I will say is, believe it or not, I do believe if you have the right guidance and you follow the right, blueprint, and you put in a lot of work, you can significantly jump and scale up quicker than I think a lot of people think. I do believe you can hit 6 figures first, run around in 4 to 5 months. I think whatever you do, I think it's easy to make a ton of money fast. You just have to be doing the right thing. And for me, it was trying this thing, trying that thing, being distracted. If I just stuck with something and actually had a good game plan and worked hard, I would have won. But half the battle is figuring out what to do. So that's why it took me, a year and a half of just kind of putzing around, trying shit, to then really kind of honing in and getting better and better.
How did you finally figure it out, and what kept you going?
So a couple of different things. I guess the first thing is trial and error. You know what I mean? You fuck up a lot. You don't just win. You constantly are learning from the losses. And in my mind, I learned almost more from the losses than I did the wins. And you kind of take each one and you keep building more and more, and you get better and better and better. And what's really interesting, Geni, is the further along I got in this journey, the one really, really big thing that just stuck out to me was singularity of focus. Okay. And what that really is just focusing on one thing and putting all your eggs in that one basket. Because what ends up happening is we do stuff, and then these little shiny objects appear everywhere. and they always seem better than what we're doing. And the problem is nothing is easy. And if you just, and this is what all the most successful people do, you just do one little thing, simple, and you just keep doing it for years and years and years, and it grows just exponentially because you put all of your effort, and it's such a tight run ship. As Alex Hormozy always says, you're basically taking a bucket that's filled with holes, and as opposed to starting and filling up more buckets, you just patch the holes in the bucket, and then you keep everything, and you just scale up. And that's really, it's not really one defining moment, but it was just testing little things along the way in the marketing world and fucking up a lot. And because I did mess up a lot, but
no, really, you messed up. Who, you? Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Why you wouldn't think, but that's really it. You know what I mean? I think really what kills a lot of people is that they just don't want to fail. But really, failing and quitting are two different things.
Failing doesn't mean that you're quitting. Failing means that you got to find another way where you're. What did you say?
No, I agreed. I said absolutely.
So failure is just letting you know, okay, well, I'm one step closer to where I wanted to be as long as you keep going.
Yes.
Why do you think it's so difficult for people to just narrow down to that one thing of focus and keep that focus? What is it about us people?
Well, I think instant gratification is big. You know what I mean? People, if they don't get what they want within 5 days, they give up.
Did you say 5 days?
Yeah. A lot of people give up so fast. I've seen people, Geni, that will buy online courses for $10,000 and they'll try for a week and then they give up. It just didn't work. It's not real, or it's not this, or it's not that. And it's so sad because so many people who would otherwise be exceptional, they just give up. And they don't know why. They kind of, in their mind, they think, this just sucks. But in reality, I think very few people turn inward and take responsibility. Because if you always go, it's me who fucked up, you get way further because there's always something more you could do. And when you max yourself out, then you can just constantly get better and then just find another thing and max that thing out. And when you combine the two maxes, it's like ultra quadratic. So I think a big thing people need to focus on to answer your question is just sticking with that one thing. Seeing it through, having some fucking faith. People are just, they don't get results and they give up, which is less competition for me, you, and the other people. That's why 0.0.1% do anything, because everyone gives up. I heard this quote that I literally love so much. It said that if you continue to try, sooner or later you'll win. And that basically makes not quitting the ultimate winning skill. And that's so true. You just don't give up, because everyone else, Geni, when you reach that certain spot, that certain threshold, they give up. It's so easy. It's so weird to think, like, talking to people, like, and seeing where I once was and how I really, messed up a lot of stuff, and then to where I am, like, that's all it is. It's just not quitting, because sooner or later you will figure it out. And I'm sure you can agree with that, Geni. You've tried stuff. That's all it is. It's just not giving up.
That is correct. Because how long I've been wanting to start the podcast? Almost 2 years, and here we are.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. You just have to. You just have to make up your mind and take the steps to get there. That's all. Is it easy? Like you said, no. It's challenging, but that's how you grow, and that's how you learn. You keep taking your steps and say, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do." Well, you find the answers. You call a friend. You hire a mentor, a coach, an expert, or if you don't feel like you can hire those people, you figure out yourself. There's a lot of people. Ask for help. Don't give up. If you really want to do something, you just need to do it. So it brings me to the point of a mindset. What kind of mindset does entrepreneurs that are really successful need to have?
Like the ultimate one, or just sort
ultimate mindset? How do you need to wake up in the morning? What do you need to think? How do you need to talk with yourself?
I think the first thing is you have to think you're better than everyone else. You have to. Too many people have no pride anymore. I think deep down they do, but they don't want to admit it. But if you don't think you're better than everyone else, you're not going to do better than everyone else. Because when you constantly go, you know what? I could do that better. I could do this better. I can do it. You'll prove yourself. You'll prove to everyone, and you'll make it better. People don't do that anymore. I mean, well, some people do, but most people, they don't. And when you, that one key element, you think you're better than everyone, you're going to do more than everyone else does. That's the first thing. The second thing is staying focused and having faith. And those are really one thing. It's not constantly getting, oh, this looks good. This looks good. Because ultimately what's really funny, Geni, is that if you're somebody, and this is anyone watching this, and if this is you, correct this, because if you're somebody that is moving along in life and you're trying something and you feel like giving up, then another kind of shiny object appears and you jump to that thing. What that says about you is that says that A, you can't see things through. So, you can't make anything work. B, it's always something else, which means you ultimately suck and it's out of your control. And then the third part is really like, it's sort of like with the out of control part. But if you have never gone all the way through, you don't know how much work that takes. You don't have the work ethic. You don't have it. So really what that says about you is it doesn't just say you're distracted, but it means you suck. And it also means that you've never, ever been able to have success. So ultimately, when I see those kind of people, and I mean this in a very literal sense, when I see people that jump to shiny object, they're losers. And I don't mean that in like, oh, you're a loser, but like they lose a lot and they keep losing. They get L after L after L. And all you have to do is just see something through and get a W. And then when you have that, Geni, when you have that mindset, you won't always jump to the next thing because you're going to know this takes a lot more work than I thought. And I'm going to have to see it through. So I think people are just prone to getting scammed because they don't work hard enough.
Yeah, I know it takes work. Anything you want to do takes work. I mean, you have to have the right mindset and, take care of yourself and all the other kind of things that it comes with success to support you overall. But at the end of the day, you have to make the choice and you have to discipline yourself whether you wanted to do it, to learn and take the steps. You need to just do it. I mean, anything you want to do new, you're going to have challenges. There's something you never done before. Just keep doing, keep going. Like Declan,
Yeah.
you heard it. You heard it. Decide what is that you want to do. Now, it could be sometimes, I know that people genuinely try and say, this is really not for me, but not after 5 days.
Yeah.
If they did their best effort and give it what do you say, maybe 6 months at least.
Wait, let me ask you a question real quick, Geni. You just said something really interesting. You said, is it not for me? But what constitutes it's not being for me? What defines it not being?
What is it not for me? How do we determine what for me? Well, it seems to me like you will have that gut feeling. It just doesn't feel right. You keep going and keep going and say, well, this is not what I thought it's going to be. It's just, you will have, eventually as an entrepreneur, you have to have that intuition and you develop as you grow as an entrepreneur. And then I feel like if you don't give your dreams and vision a certain path of it, enough effort, in my opinion, at least 6 months where you really genuinely putting 100% effort and saying, okay, if you don't feel like where you wanted to be after that, after you exercise all of your resources, been out there in the world asking people for help, like, okay, well, if some reason it doesn't feel right, then I feel you can try something different.
But don't you think it takes longer than 6 months?
Sometimes it does. But then if you have the moment of movement,
shiny object syndrome.
Shiny object syndrome, yeah. I'm guilty of that sometimes. But what people say, in reality, what people say is 6 months is just where you're at the top of the crest, and it usually takes about a couple of years. So there, now even you, my friend Declan, and I sometimes disagree on things, which is good. The good debate is excellent. I feel like in 6 months, you have to be comfortable that you reach a certain milestone where you can go further. Now, given that you put all of your effort, and then say, okay, I feel good, I can commit to another year of this. You have to reach a certain milestone in 6 months. That's how I feel. And like
That makes sense.
even you said initially, in 6 months you should be making some money. Now then you can
Yeah, if you work
reevaluate.
hard, yeah.
Then you have to reevaluate. Okay, well, is it me that I didn't put enough effort, or I didn't follow mentor's advice, or don't have expert, or didn't see the team that I need to build this whatever I wanted to build. At the end of the day, you kind of like, okay, well, how do you even decide where you want to start? Especially for multi-passionate people like myself, I have many talents, and that's why it's challenging sometimes. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out what is it you want to put most of your effort, especially for multi-talented people like myself, multi-passionate. I have to figure out. I can't. It's even difficult for me to narrow down to one. I always, as you know, I always narrow down to two things, which in a sense I can kind of relate to one to another. Then you can maybe do two things. Now I think we had that discussion before. We may differ a little bit there again. To me, you can do two things. Now it's not going to be 100% because you can only put 100% effort in one thing. Yes, absolutely. But you can, if you willing to work hard, then you can do two things to be successful. Anything more than two, you're not going to succeed. And I'm just kind of seeing that from my personal experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you can. I think you can make anything succeed. And I think you can make 5 things succeed. It's just, what is succeeding? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
good question. What is
It's
succeeding?
it's actually winning. You know what I mean? Succeeding and saying, well, I did this and do this as a pastime or a hobby isn't succeeding. Succeeding is making something out of it, something that has a lot of impact, a lot of reach, money. It checks all the boxes of something being successful. So I think anyone can do a number of things, but I just know that all of the most famous, powerful people, they constantly say they focused on just one thing in the beginning, and then
Begin.
later on, they add other things. But in the beginning, you have to put so much into one thing to see it grow, you know?
Yeah, because it's like growing a plant, growing a child. You have to keep watering it,
Mhm.
keep providing nutrients. So it's like you have to see it bloom before you say, "Oh, I'm done. It's not working out." It's like when you're growing, and if you for listeners who have children, it's like if they're not gonna keep trying to walk, and you're gonna say, "Oh, you can't walk," that's never gonna work.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You have to learn to walk first before I can start running.
It's true. It's very true.
So you have to figure out what is that walking is for you in your business. It's finding that first client. It's building your network and building your
Mhm.
referrals and setting up the systems. And then once you're at a certain level, how do you scale? But you can't do it all in one day. You have to do one step at a time.
It's very true. Yeah, you can't just do it all in the snap of fingers.
No, no, you can. So what was the biggest lesson you learned as a entrepreneur in your career? What was that pivotal moment for you
In as far as like the
as an
in
entrepreneur overall? Like that's like the person that owns the business. What is it you learn now that you wish you knew? I don't know, 10 years ago.
Good question. Good question. I would say the amount of effort, not work though. That's where it sounds weird. Not work though, because work is just you doing a bunch of, I mean, like concentrated levels of how hard did I try on this one thing? Because ultimately, if you go as hard as you possibly can and you don't sleep and you barely eat and you just do whatever it takes, you'll probably succeed within 3 to 4 months and then have a good start. So it's like, I wish I knew the amount of effort it was going to take in the beginning that I do now. Because if that was the case, I would understand. Okay, I just need to keep DMing, 100 people a day on Facebook and Instagram. I need to, whatever it is, I need to call this many people. Or I need to run ads this many times. Like it simplifies a lot of things. Because when we first start as entrepreneurs, Geni, in any realm, half the battle is just figuring out what the hell to do. It's figuring out that one thing that you do makes you money and succeeds. Because that's the hardest part. Because once you figure it out, you just keep doing it. But the problem is figuring it out. And I think that if anyone goes into any endeavor and they 10x the shit out of it, they're going to find sooner or later, and pretty fast too, what that winning horse is. And then they'll realize that they can basically make anything a winning horse. But yeah, I would say that's the main thing that I wish I knew, because I think I would be a lot further along and would have stuck with things more. Because another thing too, Geni, it's funny about that is when you work really hard, you see more or put more effort in, you see more results. That also makes you less likely to jump to shiny objects because you understand, oh, I just need to do this all day for the next 2 months and I'll be rich. So it's like insurance. It's a good insurance policy against anything else because it keeps you focused because you know this is all I need to do.
So that goes back to the discipline and choosing that's what you're going to do for the next 90 days, and that's it.
Yep. That's it.
What's the difference between work and effort? Can you clarify what's the difference for you?
I think they're the same thing ultimately. When I think about it, but it's more of a component of work. Like there's work and then there's work with a lot of effort. And I think a lot of people for example, they will be, let me think of a good example. Let's just take a marketing thing. Say they need to send 50 DMs in a day. Facebook direct messages. Well, a lot of people might just get a software or copy paste, and they put it in and they kind of go, well, I did this for an hour and I put 100 messages and it didn't really work. Or you could personalize each message. You could go online. You could research what is the best way to hook these people. You could go to their profile. You could find out a little more about them, make the messages even better. Then do that shit for 7 hours. It's like, it's putting so much more effort into little concentrated blocks that you get way better results. And I think a lot of people half-ass stuff and they expect good things. But once you really dig into something and you really put a ton of effort, not just hard work, a lot of effort into each thing, you'll just realize how much easier it is. Because half the battle is just realizing how easy this shit is,
Yeah, to me, the difference between work and effort. Effort is you're putting that energy behind it. You put that passion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It has the energy. When you do something with the energy behind it, it doesn't even feels like work. It's just gonna flow. You just go and you just do it. You don't even question it. You don't think about it. You know that you wanted to do that. You choose to do that. And it's like, I'm going to do it, and you just put that energy behind it that propels it for you.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, put in the passion and the energy.
And once you do that, then it doesn't not even going to feel like work. You say, okay, I'm doing it for a short period of time. I just want to build it out, and then once I build it out, then I'm going to bring the team on board, and then we're going to just set up the systems, and we're going to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is that simple.
Why do we always overcomplicate things? Me including. I do that. We all have a tendency of that. Is it our human design that we overcomplicate things?
Well, I think we like to procrastinate.
Oh.
And we make things more complicated so we don't have to do the work. Because half the time we know what we need to do. We all know. I know a lot of people act like I don't know, but we all know. I mean, like if people are, overweight and they're eating too much and doing a bunch of stuff, like maybe eat better food and exercise. Like it's not, people make it so but
just maybe help a little bit. That might just a little bit.
I think, yeah, exactly. Just try new things. I think a lot of people don't try new things, Geni. They don't even try. They just go, it's not going to work.
I think that's part of the desire and willingness to learn new things and not afraid to fail. Like when me, for example, I tell people I started a podcast, they're like, huh? Why? Why not? Because I want
Exactly.
to provide value. I want to enlighten people. I want to inspire people. I want them to see that the little girl that grew up in Ukraine come to the United States and did this and this and this, and now I'm doing that. Anything is possible if you put enough effort. You set your mind, you choose, and here you are. It's
Hmm.
not like magically appears in your life. Although people might say, "Oh yeah, well, if affirmation is great, mindset is great. I love all of the tools. There's just the tools to keep you going, propelling you forward. But at the end of the day, you have to take the next action and the next action. And here we are after taking so many actions each and
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Wow, your dreams come true, and people around you say, "Oh, this is magically appears in your life." Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's magic. I work my ass off, but it's magic.
That's a great point you make. I realized the same thing. And I'm not saying this is not an attack on religion in any way, because I'm a relatively religious person, but I find that a lot of really religious people, when I listen to them, everything in their life is happenstance. It's luck. It's something else. And I used to be the same way, but when I started to work really hard and I could see, okay, if I do this, I get this, everything more became up to me. And a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people literally, they go through life in this sort of like shit sort of just happens. And like you said earlier, we got lucky. Look at this magic. No, I worked my ass off. I can repeatably say I did X, Y, and Z. And it got me those things. I called all those people. I sent all those messages. I did all the fulfillment. It didn't just magically wake up and this cool things happen. It's like I did a bunch of shit. And I think a lot of people that don't understand the way the world works, I don't think they work very hard. Because the minute you start working hard is the minute you start to realize that a lot of stuff, it really is effort. Because you see people, I mean, you came from the Ukraine, you see immigrants that come from terrible countries, nothing, selling fucking bread on the corner, getting, the shit bombed out of them from a fucking bomb in the sky. You know what I mean? But they come and they make everything happen. Why is that? And why can so
They
many
roll up
Americans?
their sleeves and they work.
You said it. That's it. And people go, well, but it's so funny because that's all it is. It's pretty scientific. You can kind of see where, because there's a lot of people, Geni, that have had a lot of stuff, have grown up wealthy, grown up a lot of stuff, and they're losers. So it's really, it's what you're going to do with what you got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a believer that you have to work hard and you have to take care of yourself. We have the great tools available. There's like the affirmation, yes, great, use them every day. Do all your meditation, yes, that's good, because you have to keep yourself at peace and grounded, especially if you work very hard. You have to use all of the tools and see yourself as the whole, as like, okay, you have to dedicate sometimes to take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, you need to know things may not magically appear in your life unless you put some effort. And
Yep.
then but the best part of that to me is like you're in charge. It's not like you don't have to wait for somebody to build it for you. You can wake up every morning and say, I got this, I can do it. And this is the life I'm choosing to build. Not because you have to. I don't have to do anything,
It's
I
true.
can,
It's
I
true.
can just chill and here we are spending our time together and hoping that when people will listen to our conversation will realize it's great to have all those tools that you have. By the end of the day, you have to take action every single day. And the more
So
you put
true.
in, the greater the result you will have. And that's just the way things work. It's the law.
It's what's funny? I read this book, Geni, and you're making me think about it a lot. And it's really weird. It's called Scientific Advertising. And it's a very old book, very old, and it's really heavy. Like, he goes into all this weird shit, but I listened to it and then I listened to it again, and there's this overarching message, this secret message in the book it is that pretty much everything can be broken down into measurable steps. Because he talks about advertising, how most people have no clue how shit works. But in reality, there are procedures, and you test things. And in all across life, there are things that we do. There are things that we figure out. Like I think a lot of people that don't understand and work very hard and don't explore and really make it their duty to figure shit out, understand that everything kind of can be broken down. It kind of can. Because it's like, it's interesting. But you made me think about that, and I was like, you know what? That's interesting. Geni is kind of sparking my thoughts there.
Yeah, because like, let's say you reach a certain step in your business, and it's okay. What's next? So that brings me to the point. You have to have the goals, and the bigger the goals are, the more effort you have to put in. So, do you want to live the life of mediocrity? Maybe that's what makes you happy. That's okay. I'm not going to judge anybody if that's what you want. Some people don't want to be entrepreneurs and shouldn't be, because they like their 9 to 5, and great. That's awesome. If that works for you, you're happy. That's fine. But if you want to be creating things, and if you want to be the entrepreneur, if you like the adrenaline of learning new things, figuring things out, and making your life and other people better, because you continuously evolving and learning new skills, then you just need to step up your game, so to speak.
It's true. You speak the truth, Geni. Step up your game.
Yeah, I did, and we're here.
But see, you did something. You didn't just sit there and go, why isn't the universe blessed me with a podcast? You just fucking did it.
Yeah, but if I don't reach out to people and say, hey, I want to talk with you, and we align and say, okay, do I even want to talk with her? There's so many little steps and components that comes in whatever you wanted to accomplish and do in your life. But it's a creation. I think the creative process, that's what excites me. It's like, what do I want to talk about next? Who do I want to talk with? What value do I want to deliver? It's the creation. It's the creative process of it. You have to love what you do. And the more I do the interviews, the more I realize I just love it. It lights me up. It bring me passion. It's the creation. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be you want to see the creation. You want to live it. You want to. This is the passion that becomes your work, and that you don't no longer feels like work. It lights you up. You can't sleep. He's like, I'm like, I don't sleep as much as I used to, because I'm passionate about what I'm doing now. I want people to know, if that's something you want to do, you just have to go for it. Is it going to be easy? No. Would you have to sleep less? Yeah. Do you need to have that positive mindset? Of course. Do you need to say some affirmations in the morning, in the evening? Learn how to make sure to breathe and level out your stress? Of course, you need to have all those tools. That's why you need mentors and coaches and experts that help you along the journey. Anything you want to do, you can. You just have to take a step every single day. Speaking of challenges, tell me a time when you were doing it live and technology failed you. How'd you handle it?
Say it again, Geni.
Let's say you did a live. Tell me about the time when you did live, Facebook or anywhere else, and all of a sudden technology failed. How did you handle it? It was a technical issue.
Well, that's a really random but very good question, because it's something that everyone has faced. Just random. The tech gods just come down and smack you. It's like, oh shit. So really, you never let that happen in the first place. You have backups. You always, and I've learned this the hard way. It's like they say, if the power goes out in your city, in your house, don't sit there and go, the government, the power. Get a fucking generator.
And test it before you need it.
Exactly. That's the thing. And people, they like to blame everyone but themselves. And you know how I know this? Because I used to be one of those people. And everyone is at one point, and they either stay that way or they get better. And for me, that was me. I blamed everyone but myself. And then finally I said, you know what? If I just maxed out and figured out everything and prevented everything from happening and tried this and how to generate and how to back up and did my due diligence and took my time, I'd be unstoppable. And now I am. When something goes down, I got another one. If my camera goes down, well, shit, I got another one right over there. My light goes out, I got 5 more in the closet. Like you prepare so nothing, that kind of stuff, if it does happen, you're covered. And so many people, they just go, I hope it goes well. Go well.
Oh, well, yeah, preparation, a little preparation required there.
Yeah.
Hoping is great. Again, hoping, you need to combine the hope with the preparation, then you're golden.
Yep, absolutely.
It's to seeing the positive in every person in every situation is one thing, but just seeing that and not doing the things that you need to prepare for. Like, it's like asking somebody to do a presentation in front of 1,000 people live. I mean, if you never done a presentation in front of 10 people, how are you ever going to do it? You need the preparation.
Yeah, you do.
And sometimes people feel like it's a denial of their desire. No, maybe it's best for you not to have that opportunity yet. Maybe you're not ready. Have you considered that?
It's true. It's true.
I know you really got into recently in artificial intelligence. I want to know what's exciting you about in artificial intelligence, and why is it so important nowadays to kind of get to know as much as you possibly can and kind of start utilizing it, especially as you're an entrepreneur and you creating things.
Yeah, I mean, for me, one thing I do a lot too, and I know you know this, Geni, is I coach people. I have a big coaching company, digital entrepreneurs. We take people through and we show them how to use AI-powered, marketing agencies to basically make a lot of money, have freedom, leave their 9 to 5, all that good stuff. And before, when we didn't have AI, it was much harder. Now it's so much easier. I think AI is going to present some very big challenges to everybody, because I think it's going to go, head to head with the human race. Ultimately, I think no one's going to deny that. I think there are red flags, but right now, the main thing we need to focus on is utilizing it in this tech space, because there's so much money on the table, Geni, that people have no clue. Like AI, so many people are so behind the curve on all AI can really do, because right now people think ChatGPT, that's AI. That's just a sliver of the pie. There's so much more stuff. And if you take this and you apply this, what ends up happening is you can scale up infinitely fast now, because fulfillment is taken care of. AI can do the work. So if AI can do the work, all you need to do, sell the clients, and then you scale up. It's that easy. So really, my interest in AI is, for all my students, it's been a game changer. I mean, it has revolutionized everything. And people right now that are getting on board are making a ton of money. But it's not just the dollar amount that's crazy. It's the dollar amount per day / hour that they put in. Because before, you didn't have leverage. AI gives you unlimited leverage. That's why this is so, important. That's why I have a Facebook group where I teach people these skills. I even have a free training that shows them how to, maximize all of this stuff. And the thing is, Geni, anyone, my grandma could make money online now, because AI can take care of so much of that. And a lot of people might say, well, if this is available to everyone, why doesn't everyone use it? Well, it is available, but no one really knows about it. Why? Because just like when, a music, artist blows up, it takes so much time before, when people don't see the advancement, that there's such a lag time. And that's what happened with ChatGPT. Even people don't know that's been around since 2020. It's been around forever. And people are like, oh, look at this. Now it's been around. It's just now getting popular. So there is about a year to 2 to 3 years where people are going to just get so rich. I mean, so rich. It's the next gold rush. I mean, there's nothing bigger than AI. This is the next biggest thing. Nothing is bigger. because this is going to revolutionize everything.
Next big thing. Yeah. So instead of being afraid of AI, put it to work.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I'm not going to deny it. There are some things that come up with AI. There's things that we need to question. It's very, very fucking powerful. Okay. But, we can be pessimistic about it, or you can be an opportunist like myself, and you can take advantage and you can make a ton of money off of it. You know what I mean? So it's the kind of thing where now's the time. You know what I mean?
Now your time. You heard it here first. So my big thing is no matter what you do, bring your uniqueness. How can you bring the uniqueness and combine it with artificial intelligence? What's your take on that?
For like my coaching?
For anything, how do we combine? How do we input that uniqueness in artificial intelligence? How do we combine it? What's the match there?
That's a great question, and I'm not sure I can answer that.
I guess we'll have to work on that, don't we?
It is, because AI it's kind of unique in of itself, and it kind of takes that away from humans. So it's almost like uniqueness versus uniqueness. To be honest, Geni, I don't know. And that's something that we're going to see unfold here in the next couple months. We're going to see what that means.
Isn't that exciting?
It's very exciting.
It's like, you don't know. It's kind of like you're getting on board of part of something that you don't even know how it's going to look like. Not that far ahead. Maybe like even 2 weeks or a month. Things are constantly changing with that. It's learning. It's like a child learning to walk back again. AI is continuously learning a lot. Since 2000, 3 years now? It's been massive take. About 3 years now, isn't it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How long has it been that you've been using it heavily? About a year?
About a year, a little over a year. I've used other AI things. I have other AI workflows, other softwares I use that use AI. I mean, AI has been around for so
everywhere.
long.
Well, it's on our phone. It's everywhere. Google using AI, doesn't it? We've been using it forever. Our phones, it's been constantly used. It wasn't just emphasized and such, and it wasn't so readily available for public use. But now it's like it's all right, open.
It's democratized.
Open AI. It's open to public. It's here to use it, and it's up to us to take that initiative and effort, learn it, and see how it's best to be utilized in our life. It helps you. Can help in your personal life, and it can help, especially in your business. In your business, so that's a great point. So, Declan, what's next for you? What do you want to do? What is next for Declan?
Really, my main goal, and I have a lot of students in my coaching course that I teach. These AI tools, strategies, and helping them get to financial freedom. My main thing and my main goal, I guess, what is next is taking all my students and taking all my future students and getting them to financial freedom. You know what I mean? Getting these people out of their 9-to-5s, getting them to live the life they want to live, letting them travel where they want to travel. Because really, the pie is huge and everyone can have a slice of it. You can come to my table and I'll feed all of you. And I really want that for so many people, because it will change your life. And I think that so many people have these mental health issues and all this shit because they live a life that they just don't want to live. I think a lot of people, we blame it on so many things, but it's like, once you live the life you want to live, you're kind of always joyful and happy. Even if you don't feel well, you always are, because everything is just so much better. And I think that, it's not going to be an easy road, but there's so much there. And there's so much potential, and there's a piece of pie for everybody. And my goal, and really what's next, is helping as many people as I can. You know what I mean? I have a Facebook group. Geni will link it down below. Digital entrepreneurs. I can basically take any ordinary Joe or Sally or whatever you are, and I can make you basically an online, AI GPT agency owner like that. I mean, it's that easy now. Now there will be some work involved. I understand that, but like,
really, don't you just say you need some effort? That's just you have.
Wait, you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish.
Wait. Let's rewind this. work. Wait, don't forget there is some work.
There is. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the big thing. Because I was about to say, there is going to be work, but the work is going to just be working on the thing that you need to do to make money, as opposed to working on the thing to find the thing that makes you money. If that made any sense. And too many people now, they're working on trying to find the thing. So really, yes, there'll always be work, but I can take away the guesswork and I can just say, do these things and you'll be rich. Don't do these, do these. And then you're good. Whereas before it was like this never ending spiral of just trying to figure shit out. So that's really, you're correct. There will be work, but it's going to be work that's towards a purpose as opposed to finding out what to do next.
Opposed to finding out, is that the right step to take?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, you keep bringing it back to money. Is money that really makes people happy, or is there something else?
No, here's the thing. I think people that don't have money see money as money. I don't see it as money. I don't see it as dollar bills. I see it as a tool to get me the things I want. And when people say money doesn't make you happy, it doesn't. But let me tell you this. Money buys you freedom, and freedom makes you happy.
All right.
So it's like, a lot of people, they say these things, but like, I've never said that money will make you happy, but there are things that like there's nothing better than being free. Not waking up when you want to, going wherever you want to, traveling when you want to, doing whatever you want to, being able to have, not stress about money. Like, these are real things. That's freedom. And every human since the dawn of time, what do they fight for? Freedom. What is the United States based on? It's based on freedom. This is what everyone wants.
Why did that came to the United States? For freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Why people come to the United States? For the search of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, you can be free. You just have to build it, design it, see it.
Yeah.
Happen.
It's so true, Jenny.
Yeah, well, because I've seen it from my own eyes. Number one, you have to be certain that this is the life you want to lead. Is it? But it does require some effort, especially at the beginning. But if you have the blueprint where you want to go, then it makes it easier. You know where you know that there was that goal and then the light at the end of the tunnel. Once you put some work and establish systems, it will be there for you.
Very true.
What energizes you every day? How do you set up your day a certain way? Or I know what you're saying, you don't have a set schedule because you don't have 9 to 5. That's a part of your freedom. But is there a certain routine that you do like to do? Do you like to wake up a certain time? Do you exercise? Anything like this?
I do whatever. One of the things I'll say is I immediately get out of bed and I get to work because I enjoy that. That exercise at different times. I like to do things I'm very disciplined in as far as I'm always doing something good, but I like to mix and match. You know what I mean? Do different things and try different things. I'm moving like that.
That entrepreneurial spirit is always there.
Who
do you think was the most influential person in your life?
That's a good question.
Or two. Doesn't have to be one.
That's a hard one.
Not your father?
He was, but there are people that I didn't even know that influenced me more.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And I think that's, your childhood heroes or people. There's some people that, they've done so much. I'm trying to think. Someone that influenced me heavy. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
I'm sure you have one.
I have so many. That's the problem. There's so many. So it's
books.
I will marinate it over the next couple of days. I'll have to think about it because there's just so many.
Favorite couple of books? The most influential books that you read recently or a long time ago? that kind of
Yeah,
put you on a path of entrepreneurs, free spirit, unstoppable entrepreneur?
I would say the five, if I could break it down to five most influential books, I would say I would start with the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I think that book revolutionized just the way I thought about moving as a human in general. It really changed the way I see everything.
How did it change it? What was in there that kind of stood out? It still stands. Sounds like it still stands out in your head, in your mind now.
It's just all about, taking responsibility in a way that made sense to me. People always say, take responsibility. What the hell does that mean? But this is like why you have to take responsibility to safeguard yourself. It was so, I can't even begin with where to go with that book because that literally changed so much stuff. It changed the way I see everything,
So I guess we can say Grant Cardone influenced you a little bit.
He did. There's a lot of other people that did a lot of stuff too. There's so many different little, we're kind of a product of our environment, so if you surround yourself with these little things, you kind of just bounce off of them and you get, better and better. And it's just, yeah, it's a combination of things. There's a lot of people that influence you at certain times and other things. It's really up to you to kind of piece it together.
Take what you want that works for you and add something else that works for you, and don't, whatever doesn't work for you, leave it behind and keep going.
Yep.
You have to sort out what works for you, what doesn't. As an adult, we have to. Gosh, how many messages we get? We can't absorb everything. We just pick out. I've heard somebody say that my book reading is complete if I have learned three things. And I learned three things from that book, and then I go to the next book and learn three things. And and guess what? Learning something is half the battle, but in implementing it, I think the biggest challenge for a lot of people, we can read all the books, we can take all the courses, is the implementation where everybody is lacking. I'm just as guilty. Implementation is the biggest thing. Learning, you can learn. Knowledge is awesome, but implementation is trumps everything.
It does. Absolutely.
If you don't implement, then there's no business. Well, for people that are just trying to get into business and start networking, what's be a couple of biggest tools? I know you're big on networking and creating relationships.
Say it again.
For people are getting into business and don't know how to do networking, just kind of trying to get out there, what is the biggest couple of things that you learned? I know you're big on networking and creating relationships.
Yeah, you people, we live on a planet with 6 billion, 7, 8 billion, whatever it is, billion people. You can't be an introvert. People like to say, oh, I used to be an introvert. I used to never see anybody. So when people tell me, oh, I'm an introvert. No, you're not. You're just awkward and you have no life. No, I used to be the same way. You have to get out. We're social creatures. We're not meant, you can't survive in the middle of the woods by yourself and get eaten by a bear. You got to be with people. That's how humans evolved. Now, you can want your alone time, but I think there's this idea that people just are alone way too much. We're meant to be with people.
How did you turn yourself from introvert to wanting to go out there and connect with people? How'd you do that?
Well, I realized that if you want to get rich, you have to talk to people.
You mean you can't be successful in isolation?
You can. No, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. But when I say rich, I don't just mean money. I mean health, wealth, relationships. I mean it all. And you're not going to get there by just sitting in a dark room on your computer. You may have a lot of money, but there's a lot more to wealth than just and riches than just money. You got to have the whole, spectrum. And part of getting healthy and understanding is talking to new people, learning new things, and going down that sort of path. You learn a lot.
Yeah, so connecting with people is part of being happy, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, we were talking about what happiness means to you and success.
Say what?
What happiness and success means to you?
That's a good question.
Everybody has their own definition.
I don't know. Happiness is kind of a loaded term to me because you eat a box of chocolates and you're happy. Your endorphins go off, your serotonin goes up. I think it's more joyful versus happy. And I think the difference is being happy is a feeling. You're going to be happy. You're going to be sad. Joyful is knowing. It's knowing that you're a fucking boss. It's facts versus feelings. And I think a lot of people go, I want to be happy. Well, if you want to be happy, go get some heroin and get high as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Because ultimately you're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. You're going to be happy, sad, happy, sad. And people, I think a lot of people feel bad, Geni. They feel sad. And then they go, why do I feel sad? Or why doesn't they have these issues? And reality, that's life. Part of life is experiencing everything. It's experiencing the joy, experiencing the pain. But in reality, though, if you work really hard and you do the things to make yourself better, you'll know you're better, not feel you're better. And when you know you're better, you can feel like shit and be like, you know what? Everything is okay with me because I know it. Otherwise, and the problem with society today is they tell everybody it's all about how you feel. And when you think about it like that, if you only focus on how you feel, you're a feather in the wind. And anything is going to throw you off and you're going to feel depressed, and you're going to feel this. And it's terrible. It's a nightmare.
And then it's continuous oscillating pattern.
Yes.
But being joyful and knowing is the confidence. To me, it's the confidence and a feeling of continuous learning and growing. Like even in the last 3 months, I can see it. I had that more of a knowing, like more of a confidence, knowing like I can do anything I want, and that's it's just amazing. It's the knowing. It's like, is it always going to be sunshine and roses? No, but that's part of life. We're supposed to experience contrast. It's not supposed to be always great. And we're supposed to be learning new things. We're supposed to be challenging ourselves. But part of the challenge, you'll be frustrated. You might even get tired. You might get sad. But that's okay. It's the knowing. I love that answer.
It's true. It's the most true thing.
Bonus question. How do you think life will look in 10 years from now? What's your vision of life in 10 years?
I think that AI is going to rule us all. I don't know. The world is changing so fast that all I'll say is I'll be in a good place because I'm doing my due diligence. And I think, and this is a warning for everybody, I think unless you start getting on your 10X, I think a lot of people are going to be royally screwed. I mean, people around here just watching Netflix, ordering Uber Eats. There's a tidal wave of shit coming to you if you're not ready. And people have nothing. They don't have skills. They don't have assets. They don't have tools. They have nothing because they didn't try. And a lot of people will say a bunch of excuses, but I think in 10 years, I'll be in a good place, wherever that is. But I think a lot of people are going to be
depressed.
Yep, depressed, and they're going to have to make some tough decisions.
And trying to catch up with people that were early adopters and seeing the future and wanted to and set themselves for a success. They taking the steps, they work hard, they prepare themselves.
Yep, it's true. They do.
I see the future can be bright if we take the steps to prepare ourselves and learning and experiencing and enjoying the journey and the process, because you will have the knowing that you got, no matter what's coming your way, you prepare. I think the biggest to me, the biggest lessons of today's conversation, you have to decide what you want. You have to find the people that help you with the plan of getting there, have to take consistent action and put effort, but not put effort and feeling like you have to do it. Put effort because you're building your future.
Yep, good distinction.
Because a lot of people, when you're working very hard and there's no that why behind it, you're missing the drive. because you're gonna get sick if you're missing the drive.
It's so
But
true.
you have to find that balance and put that energy behind it, and knowing that when no matter comes your way, you can handle it. And we're not sure what's coming our way, but that confidence that you're doing whatever you can every single day to prepare, that's what will propel you in the future without any hesitation that you can handle it. That's
Fact.
that's kind of what how I sums it up for me, our whole conversation today. Anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to mention, how people connect with you?
I would say just two last things. Down below, there's going to be, a link to my Facebook group. Join it if you're, an entrepreneur, anyone that's just trying to live a better life. And the second thing is I just wanted to thank you so much for having me on here, Geni. I appreciate your time, especially on this wonderful Sunday. I appreciate, all the good work you're doing and all the interviewing. And I can't wait to see where this podcast goes.
Thank you. Yeah, we could have been just chilling, right? And here we are. And here we are producing stuff for people to wake up.
Yep, absolutely.
The future is going to run away from you if you don't take the steps to prepare. Wake up, people. We're here for you.
It's true. It's true. It's so true.
I thank you for your time. And as always, your expertise and wisdom, we will be in touch, and all of your links will be down below in the show notes. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So that wraps up our conversation with Declan. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. Declan is available to consult with anyone who wants to know about AI, and he can be reached at the links below. Subscribe, share, and keep the conversation alive. Until next time, see you.